Welcome to Nate's Garage and Bakery, where today we don't have a stupid hot end and extruder to fiddle around with. We're just going to slap some parts on this thing. Circuit boards, power supply, display, the filament holder, it's all just going to tack right on. And here you go. Since we just did our one fan, we're now going to do our other fan, our cage motor, or what do they call it, turbine fan. That would be this fan here that has the little cage in it. That's going to blow air out of that square there. And that square is going to mate up to that square, which then directs the air out of that nozzle, which is basically down here on this thingamabob. So what this does is basically attaches right up like so. We're going to use two of our M3x20 screws in a standard kit. M3x20s, two of them. No nuts. Apparently those thread directly into there. This needs to be a sticker facing the motor, so that basically the cage is out here able to get some air. Okay, and we're going to do one here. Well, it is barely long enough. Of course, that's not put together very well. I'm going to give this a little love squeeze with some pliers to... Oh, jeez, that whole thing's coming apart. There we go. Snapped it right in place. Quality. Let's try that again, shall we? Yep, just a little bit of thread showing there. These don't really need to be too terribly long. Oh man, this other one's crapped up too. Well, so basically I'm having to squeeze this case together on this fan to get it to be correct. Fan still turns. I think we're good to go on that. Alright, let's try again, shall we? Alright, so the square output of the fan lines up with the square input of the director of fan relations. That screw there. Put the other screw here, and then we start praying that this is going to go into the hole without much crap. Yes, it's going right in. It's going to be a little tight because basically we're threading it as we go, at least through a layer of paint, if not in general. Now it seems like the any pictures or graphics I've seen of these printers, or online YouTube videos of people who have some sort of kit like this, where it has this little fan nozzle pointing at this. It seems like everything up here is janked up, crooked. Now I don't know if that's because people didn't put it together as anally as I did. Like if I didn't do all the fixes on this end over here, this would be kind of yeah, it wouldn't be on there as tight as it is, for damn sure. And yeah, so I don't know, this to me looks nice and straight. So now get the fan wires out of the way here. We got a nice square lined up thing here, pointing right at the nozzle. Nozzle has plenty of space to do its thing. Everything back here is all nice and tight. Nothing's moving around. I mean, that's going to move around just because it's, flexible a little bit. But that is all tight. The motor back here is tight in position. I like it. The next item on our list, the next thing to do on the instructions is to start putting control boards in place. Well, I mean, since there's only one control board, we get some of the fancy stuff out here. Yeah, buddy. Which would be this dude right here. And we're going to mount this to its little bracket with 4 little screws. So let me turn this around to where we're looking at the right area here. So we've got 4 mounting holes here in each of the corners of the board. And we're going to use M3x5 pieces to mount that in there. 4 of them. This is the wrench we use to screw, use to screw, use to screw. So this will sit on these little standoffs here just to basically keep the electronics off of the metal plate. We don't want that to happen. They don't talk nicely. They don't play well together. Although that layer of paint probably would keep that from happening anyway. But that's beside the point, because we're not even worrying about it. Putting them on the standoffs. This is the way you screw a board early in the morning. It's not early morning now. Morning now. Morning now. I will stop singing now. Told you. Alright. And we have some electronicals in place now. Electronicals of the controlicals type, rather than the I will do what you tell me to electronical controller. Now the next thing to do is to put the power supply in place. Yep, moving right along. So now we've got the plate on the other side, and this is going to be mounted to the outside here. So we shall get our power supply out of the box it came in. Alright, so there's some threaded holes on the back here of the power supply that line up with holes in the case here. So we want the power terminals to face the downward facing terminal. We are again, I believe, using M3x5s. So we need 4 more of these little puppies. Through here and here, or there and there. Looks like these top 2 holes here, and then these, basically the smaller holes. Looks like there's holes drilled out for a different type of power supply, maybe, I don't know. But these smaller holes at the very top here, basically the ones that line up with the power supply. I won't go into a whole lot more detail trying to explain that. If you can't figure that out, I don't know if there's much I can do to help you with that one. Yet again, won't tighten them all the way down until I have them all started. You should say, don't screw until everyone screws. Power supply in place. What's next? We are currently on step 65, and the next step of our process is to mount the display on top of the mounting spot in this corner. So let me continue to turn this around. You guys can't tell me, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Alright. Here's our control board. But first, we're going to have to mount the mount. So that's this piece here. And that's going to sit up here like so. That's going to be done with M5 by 8s. We need 2 of them. And some more of those M5 rail nuts. What I'm going to do first is mount this up top by, you remember how you did all this other crap on the rails. And again, this is a thin piece, so you can probably thread it in pretty far before stopping, collaborating, and listening. There we go. That is nice and tight on there now. We can go ahead and mount our control board to it. This one's going to mount from the back so that the screen fits through the front, like so. So now we've got our screen up here, and we can knob up and that's not actually a touch screen, so I'm sorry, that was an incorrect something of the something. We need to get, this is step 66 now, by the way, M3x5s. Here's our M3x5s. Same thing we did with the other control board down there. Each corner hits a standoff. There we have our control screen. That's right. Oh, hell yes. Now it wants us to put the holster in place. So what we're going to do here is use these little brackets. So this will be up here like this, and like this. And it'll have a bar between them. I'm guessing that other threaded rod is going to be our bar between those. And then that's what all these other great big bolts are for. Just to thread onto that rod and keep things in place. M5x8s. 2 of them, 1 for each arm. And M5 nuts. I guess it wants us to put this side out, so, you know, whatever. Yeah, and the other thing I've seen with this particular mount is that people will put bearings in place so that there is less rolling resistance of the spool of filament. Now, as far as the spacing between these two, basically it's got to fit a spool of filament. That's going to sit across the top there. I think what they would have us do is to use these, well, four of these nuts. I think they probably gave us an extra one there. You could probably have it to where these are on either side of this thing and tighten it down. However, I think it's 2 per side more to keep these locked in place so that as this thing spins, it doesn't unscrew itself. So let me make this about as wide as I can possibly get it. Make sure that it is, yep, wide enough to fit that filament roll. There we go. That actually works out perfectly. Man, I got lucky on that spacing. We'll stick it on through. There's actually a packet of Descent in there, but yeah, stick it on through there. Like so. Now the reason that's, no, it's not pitching a hissy fit, is it? No. So there's our roll of filament, our spool holder. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. We are arriving. However, there's plenty to do yet. Most of it wiring. Set that down. That was step 69 and 70 to get that in place the way it is there. Well, that's it for this episode on Nate's Garage and Bakery. Did you get this far? Did you like what you saw? Go ahead on and click that subscribe button for future videos. Hell, click the like button while you're at it. Leave a comment you got questions. I'll try to answer. Later.